On the other side of the spectrum, we got Weston McKennie. For me, it's got to be an F.
Dude, dropping the ball.
Yeah, it's absolutely like he came in. Is supposed to be one of the leaders this camp, and he let us down. He let the country down. He let the team down. He let everyone down.
Hey, Usmnt fans, we're back. I'm Rohan, and that's Jake from OneGoal. And today we're going to be trying something a little new. We're ranking S through F tier list of the USMNT players who got on the roster in the most recent World Cup qualifying camp. It was a big one. It was the first one since that 2018 dumpster fire. So a lot to talk about. And yeah, we're excited to be ranking all those players. Jake, you want to describe how we're going through the rankings?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. C is your standard baseline. If your performances in camp were exactly what we thought they would be, you didn't raise your stock, didn't hurt your stock, you'll get a standard C. If you performed slightly above expectations, a B. Slightly below expectations, a D. You really exceeded expectations, you'll get an A. You really failed to meet expectations, you'll get a D, an F. And if you just blew it out the park and you were phenomenal, you'll get an S.
There we go. I like it. I like it. So we hope you guys like this new format and let us know what you want to see more of. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And of course, thank you. We finally hit 1,000 subscribers on our channel. It's a huge milestone. We're super pumped about it. We're excited to produce even more content and get feedback and really build our community here on YouTube. So really appreciate the support, guys. And yeah, keep it up. Anyway, on to the rankings.
Cool. Yeah, so I think we'll get started with Captain America himself, Christian Pulisic. So for me, I think Pulisic probably, I'm going to give him a B. I think he showed that he is our best player. His ability on the ball and to drive at players, it's unparalleled in the pool. No one else can do it quite like him. Yeah, he didn't play amazing, but he still is undoubtedly our best player and our best attacking player, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see what you're saying. I think it's more of a C though, just because like we expect that from him. He's our captain. He threw it on, and he was like trying. He had that like, oh man, almost like that Messi type of mentality where he tries to put the team on his back and just like dribbles a bunch of players. I know that he was dropping really deep, trying to get things going. So like the effort was there, almost like a little bit too much sometimes. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like he's doing what we expect him to. I mean, he didn't really score or assist. Obviously, he didn't play all the games, but I felt like he was what we expected. And hopefully more, he can go above and beyond, maybe even a little bit under. So I would say C, man.
Yeah, I guess we'll give him a C. I think that's fair. He, the most important ability is availability, and he wasn't able to stay healthy that second half. And like, yeah, I understand he was getting fouled, and that's really out of his control. But if you look at the top players in the world, they figure out a way to stay on the field, right? Maybe you don't try and dribble 6 guys, and instead you draw the pressure in and you lay it off. So yeah, I think a C is fair.
Yeah, man, I'm worried about those ankles. They have been beaten up. So
yeah, it's rough. All right, our next player, who you got?
Josh Sargent. I thought he showed a lot of energy. When he was playing out on the wing against Honduras, he looked a little bit lost. It wasn't, he wasn't like owning the attack that as much. And even when he was playing as a central striker in the match before, his movement was good. I mean, that's one of his specialties. That's what we expect of him. But again, he didn't wow us. He didn't, take on that leadership role as a player who's now playing in the Premier League at the highest standard of football. I expect him to be a leader offensively on the pitch, and it didn't really see it. So again, he's kind of been like that for most of the USMNT games he's played. I would give him a C.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna grade him a little harsher. It's a D for me. He came in as a starting striker, and I think he left we ended camp with him not being the starting striker. Regardless of who you think that is starting, I think it's pretty much unanimous that he's not the starter. Who the starter is unclear, but he is definitely not the guy. He looks lethargic out there. He isn't able to score goals, and that's your only job. His big value prop as a player is he's supposed to be good on the ball and able to link up, but anytime he got the ball at his feet, he was tripping over it, stumbling over it. And yes, I understand the conditions aren't great, but everyone else is playing on the same field and no one else looked as poor technically as he did. So yeah, it's got to be a D for me.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds a little bit harsh, but it's pretty accurate. Like, this is the window where you wanted him to step up and be like, I am USA's number 9. I'm putting the ball into the net. I'm taking shots on target. I'm doing everything that a striker is supposed to be doing. And like, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reality is a lot of players are going to get pretty negative grades this time around. It wasn't a great camp. You know, someone that I did think did do well is Gil Reyna, right? For me, I'd give him a solid B. I thought up until this point, he'd never really wowed me with in a U.S. jersey, but that first game against El Salvador, I thought he was our best attacker, and he just gets it done, and he wants it, and he looks a little more capable than Pulisic to be able to put the team on his back and like just handle that weight and like take the knocks that come with putting the team on your back. So yeah, for me, Gio, it's a solid B.
Yeah, you know, he's got that bite. He's willing to kind of like be a little aggressive and get into some put like pressure on players, you know, get into a little bit of scruffles here and there. And then also I just think that his service is a little bit better than Pulisic's right now. I mean, he's got an excellent delivery on the ball. He's taking the set pieces for the first team now. Like, there you go. I mean, everybody knows how good he is. And he was excellent on the wing when he was playing there, getting in good crosses, doing one-on-ones, knowing when to kind of cut back and reset. He looked sharp, and it's a pity that he got that injury. And
I think we would have done better if the next 2 games we would have performed much better if he was on the field. So
you say B?
Yeah, I'd give him B.
All right, let's do B. Yeah.
All right. On the other side of the spectrum, we got Weston McKennie. For me, it's got to be an F.
Dude, dropping the ball.
Yeah, it's absolutely like he came in. Is supposed to be one of the leaders this camp, and he let us down. He let the country down. He let the team down. He let everyone down. And yeah, it's got to be an F. You know, he chose him. He prioritized himself over the team and the country. It's inexcusable. Like that, there's nothing else to say about it.
Yeah, I know, like, you know, those bachelorette parties in Nashville are very tempting, but man, you gotta hold back. I mean, dude, he's playing for Juventus in Italy. I'm sure you can get all the girls you want, but not now. Just one night. Not now.
Yeah, it's
just hold it back.
You sacrifice, you know, it's one night, you know, you go have fun, right? You get that release that night you go out, but what about the next 4 years that we're stuck to suffer? You know, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe Landon Donovan was like a little bit harsh. I mean, again, I don't know the full details of the situation.
That felt like Landon Donovan didn't know the actual story, and he's like, "Oh, I bet it's bad. I'm just gonna say it. It's like irredeemable." And then when it came, it's like, it's bad, but not irredeemable. I think he just wanted to sound like he was in the know when he really wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, Burhalter pretty much said that like he'll be back in the future. And we still support him. But yeah, better decision making from a player who we expect to be one of the leaders on the pitch.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder if he can be a leader on this team, or maybe he's just a role player moving forward. Something to see. But yeah, you comfortable with an F?
Yes, unfortunately.
Cool. Cristian Roldan. For me, you know, I thought he came into the camp as a solid role player that no one really was excited for. I think he left the camp similar to his Gold Cup performance. It's like he's actually a little better than I thought he was. You know, the guy's a gamer. He's going to lay it all out on the field every time he plays. He's going to sacrifice his body, do whatever it takes. He understands that he's not the most gifted player on the field, be it technically or athletically, but he still fights for the team. And when you contrast that to someone like Weston, it's like, I appreciate that. Someone that's really going to put the team first. So for me, I'd give him a B.
Yep. Yeah. I'm actually agreed on that totally. I think he played in every game. He got some minutes. So
Mhm.
that shows that Berhalter values that energy he brings, that kind of like super sub ability to whether you need to push the ball forward more aggressively and kind of like bring it out on the wing and create some more chances, or just kind of like hold up in the middle. He's pretty versatile.
Yeah.
He can kind of like play that defensive role, but then also like be in that offensive transition to push the ball forward, or whether he's just like carrying it, a couple of yards and then kind of progressing it up to a winger or a striker, or whether he's on the other side of the ball. So very good utility player. And I agree with you. I didn't know he had these kind of qualities and this ability to be consistent. So yeah, B for me, above expectations.
Yeah. Next player. Who is it? Let's hear it.
Oh yeah, Tyler Adams. So yeah, I think Tyler, he obviously started off that half in Honduras a little bit awkwardly. I think it's just because he was thrown out in that right back position again. I don't really think that's his fault. Um, I would say that as soon there was even actually a clip I think I saw it on Twitter or something of him like kind of like talking back to
Mhm.
Burhalter like around like the 11th or 12th minute, where he was just saying like, yo, like this isn't working, like, and where am I supposed to be, like here, like you could see there was a bit of discourse there. And you know what, that is like leadership. That is, if
Mhm.
there's someone who kind of stamped their place, even if they didn't have like the perfect window performance wise, and the whole team didn't, let's be real, I think it is Tyler Adams. We all know that he has that leadership capability. And he is, when he's being utilized in the team correctly, he's going to put in a shift. He's going to do what you expect him to or more.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say a B. I could maybe even an A. I don't know. I thought it was excellent again. And now we know this is the standard that you expect for the people who are being called leaders on our team. And yeah, he's still super young. So the sky's the limit for that guy.
Yeah, for me, I was actually going to give him S tier. So I think we can settle for an A, just
Yeah.
because, yeah, like you said, he is the one true leader on the team. When he sees things aren't going well, he's actually talking to Berhalter about it. Whereas, like, you look at, there's clips of John Brooks when Berhalter's talking and John Brooks kind of waves him off and just walks away. That's not leadership. If you see a problem in the team's formation, you talk to the coach and you work it out and you get it fixed. And Adams seemed willing to do that. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then yeah, when you see him when he's not in the midfield, it's chaos, right? When the start of the Honduras game, and when he's in there, when he is in the midfield, we have some control. He's our most important player, arguably, and definitely our most important midfielder. It's got to be an A for me.
Yeah. I'm with you, man.
Cool.
All right, let's keep going.
Next player, Sebastian Lejet. For me, I think it's it may be controversial, but probably an A for me, right? I don't think he did great the first game or even the second game, but the third game against Honduras, once he came in and we didn't have three defensive midfielders in the midfield. We had one more offensive like linking player. We were suddenly able to transition into the middle and final third, and like clockwork, we got the goals. Yeah, I think he's not sexy. He's similar to Roldan in that he's not going to wow you, but he just gets the job done time and time again. Yeah, for me, he's got to be an A. I think he's better than everyone gives him credit for.
Yeah, I think the comparison to Christian Roldan, Cristiano, even though he wears the number 7, how did Cristiano Roldan get the number 7? I don't know.
And before that, he had the number 10, which I was genuinely upset at that. Like, I was mad.
Yeah, he's got some pull that we don't know about. Good for him. But yeah, Sebastian Lejet, I mean, I thought he's a B just because, I mean, honestly, like there's been previous windows where he's actually found the back of the net and like very casually in some of our big wins, he gets like a goal or a brace, and okay, like a little bit higher stakes, and he didn't play the full 90 in all the games. So I think A is a little bit high. He's probably B exceeding expectations a little bit. But yeah, another great utility player.
Yeah, I think that may be recency bias for me, giving him the A because of Honduras. So yeah, I'll settle with the B. Next player, who you got?
I got James Sands, man. That was rough. I think Did he only get 45 minutes in the entire window?
So he got like 60 because he wasn't, shockingly wasn't a sub at halftime against Honduras. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
But he somehow managed to stay on.
Yes, you're right. You're right. They took off. Okay, he took off like John Brooks and okay, yeah, and Josh Sargent, and I think there was one more sub. But anyway,
Bello.
Bellow, right? We'll get to him. So yeah, Sands. I mean, he looked like he just was not ready. I don't know if the occasion got to him, if the pressure did, if the environment, the pitch obviously wasn't great. And I think you referenced it before. Everyone's playing on the same pitch, but clearly he was wearing some like indoor turf shoes or something because he was slipping all over the field. And he just, like, when he got the ball, it didn't seem like he knew what he wanted to do with it. He was just trying to play a quick pass off. He didn't, just that confidence was lacking. So maybe he's not ready. I've seen him play a couple of good games and like the friendlies that we had earlier. Sure. But for the competitive games where you need points, you better be ready as soon as you lace up and your feet touch that grass. So I'm going to have to go with an F, unfortunately. I expect him to do better because obviously he has the quality to do it. But yeah, for this window, not so good.
Yeah, I'll give him an F too. I think, it looked like he was playing in cement shoes or he was like running in sand. He wasn't able to keep up with the pace of the game. And like every time he was defending, he just like hit guys. He just came in and like literally like football tackled them. It's like, what are you doing, man? I don't know how he didn't get a yellow card earlier in the game. He just looked incompetent. He's not up to the level. It's sad because I was like really high on him after the Gold Cup.
Sure.
But he's just not good enough right now.
He had a good Gold Cup, yeah.
Cool. So yeah, for me, moving on to our next guy, Kelyn Acosta. This one's tough. I think it's probably a D. After the Gold Cup, I was like, oh, this guy, he's got it. He's our backup number 6. And in his defense, he didn't really get a play, like as a lone 6, like he did in the Gold Cup. Whether it's because Tyler Adams was in that role or James Sands was stinking up the place. He just didn't have the opportunity to do that. So he was forced to play as an 8. And the guy's just not he's terrible as an 8. He's unable to get on the ball. He's just a passenger the entire game. He's not able to dictate play. He's not able to connect like Sebastian Lejet can. He's just a non-factor. I was really disappointed in him. But there is like the big asterisk that he was played as an 8.
Out of position.
Yeah, or is like next to James Sands. So it's like, how much can we really blame him, right?
Yeah, and that's the frustrating part because like you expect the coach to know what every player's qualities, their capabilities are at this point. Like you should be able to look at Kelyn Acosta and be like, if I play him as an 8, will he be able to do it? Probably not. So I'm going to leave him either on the bench or I'm going to play him, in that backup 6 role that he excelled in. Like he showed in competitive matches, he can be one of the best players on the pitch and pretty much like lead this team from a defensive standpoint. Why he played in that 8 role again and just like pretty much choked up our midfield, I have no answer for that. So, I mean, unfortunately, it's harsh to give him, what you said, a D?
I'm torn between a D or a C. What do you think?
Damn. Yeah, I guess a D.
Because it was a little worse than we thought it would be, right? Like,
it's like, I mean, like pick it up somehow. But if you feel like uncomfortable, try your best. But again, I'm not on the pitch, but I would say a D.
D it is. All right. Who's next?
Next is John Brooks. So, I thought another really rough window because he was not up to the standard that we expect from him. Obviously at fault for that first Honduras goal. Well, he wasn't completely at fault, but he did step up. And, as a defender, when someone has space at the top of the box, like someone needs to step. So he did that. But
if you step, you also got to win it. It's either the ball or the man, right? And he got neither.
Fair enough. Yeah, he just kind of got caught in no man's land, and then the ball was kind of the play continued. But but even like throughout, I didn't necessarily think like the things which he excels at, which we know like he's a fantastic distributor of the ball, and he's also an excellent defender. I mean, he was part of the second best Bundesliga defense last season, and he's a leader for this team as well, but we just didn't see it. So below expectations, inconsistent with his like distribution and delivery and defensive. So all those D's mean I give him a D. So
yeah. For me, honestly, I think it was an F because I thought it was way worse than I thought it would be. Right? Yeah, his defensively, he just looked like he didn't care. He wasn't, defending. The biggest thing is you just got to try hard, right? And just give it your all and do whatever it takes, that Carlos Puyol style. And he just doesn't look willing to put himself out there. And he kind of goes into tackles half-heartedly. He steps half-heartedly and doesn't get the job done. He doesn't track his man and just starts walking. And then the guy's got an easy tap in. And then on the ball, he played it safe, or he would try and hit an interesting pass and would go straight to the other team. He's he went in to this camp as the nailed on starter, write him in with pen. And it's like, I got the whiteout out after this camp. There's no way he's on my starting 11.
Damn. Yeah. It's just unfortunate because he does have that quality. Didn't see it. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. Next man up, McKenzie. For me, I think a standard C. He performed as I expected. McKenzie, he seems like one of those players where he's good for the most part, but he is liable for one bad giveaway a game or one bad mistake a game. We had the Nations League final giveaway, and then against Honduras, he also had another bad giveaway early in the first half. So he is exactly what I thought he would be. He's passable, but still he's a little rough around the edges and needs some work. A solid C.
Yeah, he's definitely rough around. I know, we've interviewed him. He has excellent, he has a great mentality.
Yeah.
And
he's a genius. His understanding of the game.
So intelligent. Yeah. So it's definitely a little bit raw. And I think he just needs minutes. So I was super happy to see him get minutes. And of course he started a final for us. But agrees a little bit rough around the edges. And he knows that. He knows what he has to improve. He's open about it. So I expect him to kind of mature into one of the leading defenders in this pool.
Absolutely. Yeah. His ceiling is sky high. He's just not there yet, but he will get there. Yeah. Who we got next?
Yeah. Speaking of sky high ceilings, Miles Robinson.
Mile high.
Yeah. There you go, man. I mean, he was excellent, which is such a pleasant surprise because I think when he was performing really well for Atlanta United, a couple seasons ago, he caught everyone's eye. Everyone was excited about this young defender playing well, and then he puts on the USMNT jersey and he just keeps killing it. His game is so good. He is one of the most athletic and well-rounded defenders I've seen throw on a USA jersey. He's fast, he's agile, he reads the game well, and his heading, his jumping abilities is amazing. I mean, he's specifically a target that we have on set pieces. Mm-hmm. He's dangerous in the box, and he's winning a lot of these headers. So I give him an A because he was consistent. I think he played every minute of every game. He was consistent all throughout. He was an offensive asset and a defensive asset. All around the ball, he was excellent. So, or wait, not an A. I give him an S.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, I think he's an S because the guy, I've never been so confident in one of our players. If there's a ball in behind, no one's going to outrun him. He's the fastest man alive. He's insane. In the air, he's dominant. On the ball, he's passable. He's amazing. I was, blown away by him. Really impressed. He's S tier for sure. He's our nailed in starter right now. It's center back.
For sure. Yeah.
So next player, Matt Turner. So for me, I think this is tough, right? He didn't get a whole lot of it wasn't like the Gold Cup where he had a bunch of opportunities to show what he's capable of.
Yeah.
When he did have chances, he did his job and he did well. But strictly because he didn't have a lot of opportunities, I'm going to give him a B. I think he performed slightly above average, he did a little. I mean, he didn't play better than I thought he did. Than I thought he was, because I think the world of him. I think he's amazing. I'm torn between a B or a C. What do you think?
I mean, I would say B for sure, just because I thought he did have some like really good saves. There was a save like early in the Canada game where kind of Davies was free in the wing, and then like the ball was cut back in the center of the box, and it was like a close range shot. It had a little deflection, but Turner stuck his hand out and he was there. And one thing that I love about Matt Turner is he dominates that box. Like when the ball goes up and he sees that it's close enough where he can get it, he gets it. Like there's no wishy-washiness. He's never caught in no man's land. He owns the box, and his reflexes are like world class, honestly.
Absolutely.
I think he's really pushing the line for like first or second spot for keepers. I mean, I think he's at this point for sure has second spot locked in.
Agreed with all of that. The only reason I was giving him a C is just because that's what I expect of him. Just because I think he's that good. But actually, I am fine with giving him a B because he's got a better throw than I thought he did. Second half against Honduras, that throw to Pulisic, or is it first half? Maybe late in the first half, early second half. But he had like a 60-yard throw on the money in hitting Pulisic on stride. He's unbelievable. The guy's
so
elite.
Impressive. Yeah.
Cool. So moving on to our next guy, Ricardo Pepi. Is this you or me? Who gets to start?
I kind of lost track, man.
All right, well, I'm a Pepi stan, so I'm gonna take this one. S tier, he is the man. I remember watching the game when he scored. I started crying.
Oh shit! Yeah, good for you. Yeah,
it was an emotional experience. Like, it's making me tear up right now thinking about it. It was so awesome to see that happen.
You and the FC Dallas Twitter account holder, like you guys are the biggest Pepi stands out there.
It's like, I'm speechless. He did phenomenal. He, unlike Josh Sargent, when he's out there, he looks like he wants it more than anything. He's sprinting as hard as he can. He's pressing as hard as he can. His hold-up play is so good. He releases the ball quickly. He's able to get in the box and always around dangerous he gets in dangerous positions. He got a goal. He got an assist. He was involved in all 4 goals. He's like our first Mexican-American superstar. He's amazing. Yeah, it's got to be S for me.
There's so much to I agree, totally S. There's so much to kind of break down about this because, in the same kind of summer, you see 2 young Mexican Americans going in opposite directions, right? You had David Ochoa, who committed to the Mexican national team, and Pepi, who committed to the USMNT. So there's an interesting dynamic there. And then on top of that, we knew that he had goal scoring ability. In fact, I think I saw somewhere on Twitter, someone said that he's the best natural finisher that we have in the entire talent pool. I completely agree. He's someone who, in whatever position he's in the box, whether his back is to goal, whether he gets an awkward pass, he knows how to adjust his body, how to make a yard, and how to get the ball at least on target, if not the back of the net. Left foot, right foot. And how about that header? It was fantastic. I mean, can Josh Sargent do that? Probably, but he didn't do it. Pepi, from the moment the ball kicked off in that game, he was giving it 110%. He was leading with pure effort and pure hunger, and he knew that this was his shot and he had to take it. And he owned up to it, man. That is fantastic. And another kind of interesting thing that I looked up. So we interviewed Ricardo Pepi way back when he was still on loan with North Texas Soccer Club. And I think we kind of drew some comparisons to Robert Lewandowski. And he was like, yeah, I mean, Lewandowski's an excellent player, but I think I'm more of an Alvaro Morata, which I thought was what? I mean, I kind of see it. He has the pace, he has the height and he's got better finishing ability at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I could see him mold into that type of Lewandowski, complete forward. So,
well, and my favorite thing about him that no other striker in the pool has, at least from my point of view, is this guy genuinely expects to score every single game. A lot of strikers are like, oh yeah, my job is to score. I got to score. But when you watch them on the field, they don't expect it, right?
Yeah.
He knows it's if I need to score. He's got that Joseph Martinez like mentality, and
Mm-hmm.
it shows. And he's able to get a goal almost every single game. He's phenomenal. He is our number 9 moving forward. Whether I know like there's going to be rough patches and there's going to be rough games for him because he is 18 years old, but I think he showed enough at this point where we need to kind of push through those learning curves and like the speed bumps along the way, because in the long run it will be worth it. He's the guy.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, let's keep going. We got a few more here.
Cool. Yeah.
Next is Antonee Robinson. For me, I thought he was a solid B. I wish he got more minutes. Like, honestly, he deserved it. And okay, like 3 games in 7 days, like you got to rest players. But every time he was on the pitch, he brought that energy. Dude, I might even give him an A for that celebration. Oh my God, that standing like backflip on this, like what?
Yeah.
What type of like creature are you? That's
insane.
insane.
I remember I texted you during the game, and it's like, there's times when I'm watching these players play and it's like, oh, I think I could hang with them. And then I see them do stuff like that, and it's like, nope.
No.
They're in a different stratosphere.
Yeah. They're not human. Something else. Like that was I thought he brought up that energy, that left back spot. He's got locked down now, man. That is his spot. And no one is really contesting him for it. Like it's he had he had the assist, he had a in the Canada game, he had the goal in the the goal to kind of like wake us up and be like, yo, now let's win,
get us back in it. Yep.
Yeah, to get us back in it. And that was like right as the half started. Like he made a like gut busting run down the left flank when the ball was on the opposite side, and he kind of held his spot in the box, just creating that little bit of overload on the far post. Then when his chance came, he put it away. Like good for him. And you could see how much it meant for him. He was so pumped.
Yep.
And I love that passion for the USA. So good for him. Did we say B? I kind of want to give him an A.
Yeah, let's give him an A. And I think the only thing that kept him back from getting an S is more minutes. I think if he had more minutes to show, he would have even done better than he did in this camp.
Jedi.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. Moving on, Brenden Aaronson. I think a solid A for me. He had a really rough start to the camp. I thought he was terrible against El Salvador, but in soccer, you're going to have bad games. It's not really about the bad games. It's how you bounce back from the bad games. And he bounced back from those with 2 solid performances. He was great. He, a goal in both, right?
Yeah.
He's, the guy gets it done. He's like, you're not going to notice him that much throughout the game. He doesn't really like get on the ball all that much and impact us throughout the run of play, but he's able to get goals or create goal scoring opportunities. So yeah, I think he's an interesting option. He needs to be a winger so the game doesn't have to run through him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he gets it done. I like him.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, I think like when he was playing as like an attacking midfielder, was that in the El Salvador game? Like he didn't really own that position, and he wasn't kind of like linking up as best as we thought. But when he had kind of like the free space to dribble and to make smart runs and then to get on the end or like make runs in the box, I thought he did that really well from almost like this playmaking winger position, so to speak.
Yep.
And yeah, his finishing ability is damn good. I mean, obviously, like the goal against Canada was a tap in, but I thought the goal against Honduras, like what a strike, like top corner, I think. Lot of power in that. So yeah, I agree. I'll give him an A, and I want to see more of Brenden Aaronson. Like he's got to be a lock, either in the starting lineup or, super dangerous coming off the bench.
The first sub off the bench.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he changed the game when he came on against Honduras. Good for him.
Yeah. Konrad de la Fuente, what you got?
I'm gonna go with the D just because like he didn't really light up the wing like we expect him to. I thought he actually had like some good take-ons, so maybe it's a C. I don't know, but
I think a C. I think he wasn't put in the positions to succeed really. He only played really that El Salvador game, and then he got scrub minutes against Canada. So in El Salvador, the tactics were terrible. Our team was terrible. So I don't really blame him for that. When he did get on the ball, I was like, damn, this kid, he's got the sauce. I think, he showed well, but he's who we thought he was, I think.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's
Cool.
keep going.
All right.
George
Bellow for me, probably a D. A D to a C, because he had good moments against Honduras and he had some bad moments against Honduras. He lost his man on the goal, but I thought on the ball he was aggressive. He tried to drive us forward, but
Yeah, I mean, he got taken off at halftime. Just, I guess, like a sacrifice for the change in formation. But yeah, I think he's got a little bit of that, like, James Sands really wasn't ready for the moment type of vibe, because I mean, just that was a huge defensive error. Like, he just like completely missed that man. That was his man to track. You don't do that in competitive games. I mean, you really, I mean, it's on him, right? So a little unfortunate, but yeah, I have to give him a D. Yeah.
yeah, I think a D is fair. So Deandre Yedlin for me, probably a C. Yeah, I think he's who I thought he was, just not good enough for the team. He can put in a good cross here and there, and against like weaker opposition, I think he can get the job done. But I think our right back spot is more up in the air than a lot of us think it is.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Honestly, like, I want to give him a B because he did have a great assist and he was showing a lot of energy. He's kind of making a mini comeback for the USMNT. So, I mean, I can do C also. I'm leaning towards B because I was just kind of nostalgic seeing him back
Yeah.
and performing well.
Let's split the difference and give him a C.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, cool. Someone we haven't talked about yet, but I'm shocked we haven't. Sergino Dest.
Yeah.
Sergino Dest. What you got him?
I'm gonna say a D actually. I don't think he performed well. He on the, I think on the Canada goal, he was just like, he couldn't keep up with Alphonso Davies. He was kind of getting rocked by him. He again didn't make enough of a case for playing left back. I know he wants to be in a position, or Burhalter wants to put him in a position where he can kind of cut in and shoot. He's done that against weaker opposition before. But I mean, I don't know. I just think, like, let's keep him on the right. And then unfortunately he got injured too. So it doesn't look like too bad of an injury. But yeah, not a great window for Sergino. We know he's better. He didn't have that much of an impact. And yeah, I have to give him a D.
Yeah, for me, that's, I think, generous. I would give him an F, right? The guy plays at Barcelona. He should be one of our leaders, and he should be, stomping over some El Salvadorian in opposition, and he didn't. He just didn't look up to the part. He looked like a USL player. Every time he gets on the ball, he tries to do a little too much. I think he's just got to simplify his game and just, do your job, and he's not. So for me, I think an F. So what do we leave him at? F or a D?
Yeah, I guess an F. Let's not be too generous here.
What you got Jordan Pefok at?
Ooh, I would say a C. I mean, he came on, and I think in the Canada game, and was having some good link up play, putting some pressure on the defense. But I mean, I don't think he got many opportunities just because he wasn't getting the service, which was just like mind boggling for me, because he's clearly like the tallest guy back there. Just put the ball on his head. And did he get minutes during El Salvador? Because
he got subbed on. Yeah.
Yeah. Which again, same thing. Like, El Salvador was a short team. Like, take that advantage and play it aerially up to him. So I would say a C.
Yeah, same thing. Josh Sargent performed worse than I thought he would have. Pefok performed exactly like I thought he would have. He's not going to create chances himself. If you give him things on a platter or in the box, he can make it happen. And that didn't really happen, so he didn't really do much. Yeah, solid C. Last guy, not a player on this list, head coach Gregg Berhalter. For me, it's an F. Yeah, I've been like a staunch defender of Burhalter, and I've been, begging people and like advocating that we give him time and we trust the process. But it's go time now, right? This is qualifying. This is what's going to determine how we see the program for the next 4 years. And he dropped the ball 3 games in a row. Yes, he fixed it against Honduras, but it was too little too late, right? Like this wasn't a difficult window. This window was supposed to give us confidence moving into the rest of qualifying and to get like excited and to like win over fans, new fans, and get people pumped. And no one could have watched these games and have been pumped. It was gross. And I blame him. Yes, the players have to look themselves in the mirror. Some of them underperformed. You see all the players that we gave D's and C's, D's and F's to, but a coach has to, it's on him to put players in positions to succeed. And Kellen Acosta being a prime example, he didn't do that. He didn't get the best out of Christian Pulisic, Sergino Dest, anyone. If we didn't win against Honduras, I think he should have been out of a job.
Yeah, I mean, I think like there were 6 halves of soccer that was played. 5 out of 6 of them were rough. Just the team did not have a cohesive plan going forward. They were making some mistakes because players were being played out of position, and we didn't have that much of a game plan going forward. And you could see like the tactical confusion on the pitch. Like the players weren't clicking, and it's like he's had 2+ years to figure out what's the best squad, who should we bring in and recruit, and
best formation.
What's the best tactics on the pitch leading up to this window? It didn't happen. No. And that's incredibly frustrating for fans, and I'm sure even a little bit for players. Obviously, like Gregg Berhalter has done great things for this program, bringing in some key dual nationals, and also just, trying things out differently and giving the players that deserve playing time. But you got to win games. You got to have offensive plans going forward. And that's like the hunger that fans want to see in an American team, where we have that grit in our teeth. We have that never say die attitude, kind of like how we used to have with like Dempsey and kind of Jermaine Jones, like those types of players who were super aggressive. That mentality isn't there on this team all the time. And that's kind of a shame, because that's what got so many fans behind this team. So the fact that this team doesn't really have an identity is a little bit concerning. And yeah, that kind of goes on Burhalter. So I agree. I was going to give him a D just because he woke up and was like, oh shit, and then made 3 subs. I thought he was going to make 1 sub, but he owned up to his own mistakes.
But it's like he had nothing to lose. He knew if he lost that game, he was out of a job. He's like, fuck it. I'm going to throw it at the wall. Like, what do I have to lose?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, I guess we have to give him an F, unfortunately.
It's like, and the thing is, like, the way I look at it, right? First, I don't know what our way of attacking and how we're supposed to create chances under him. I don't know what his plan is, other than maybe get the ball out wide and cross it occasionally. But even then, we don't like cross it that much, and we don't really. Then Pefok should have been the starter every game if that's the case, and maybe 2 strikers, right? We don't do that. Secondly, like these 3 match windows, it's a mini World Cup, right? That's what we're getting in the group stages. And if this was like, we played El Salvador, Honduras, and Canada, we're not going to get that easy of opposition in the World Cup. Yeah. And we would have gotten destroyed. Like it took him 3 games to figure out like the best lineup and best formation. 2.5 games until he got it right. We can't afford that in the World Cup. The guy's had 3 years.
Yeah. The pressure is on. He's in the hot seat, at least in the fans' eyes. But yeah, hopefully we just clear out the October window. And if not, I think.
Yeah. What do you do? What if October window, same thing? The first 2.5 games, it's like, what is going on? It seems like he's just tinkering. And then finally, like the final half of the window, he gets it right.
I think you got to cut your losses, man. I think like that's unacceptable, because there is a very interesting time, because I think it's 6 games in. There's 14 games total in World Cup qualifying. So you make your decision then. You either cut him and you bring someone in new, and you have like some friendlies and other matches to kind of get them used to the squad and try some new things out. And then you have still, 8 more games of qualifying to get in. So it is absolutely critical that by the end of that window, the Federation has a clear idea of whether Burhalter in or out. Yep. So hopefully that.
And it's critical that we as fans and the team have a clear like identity. And it's like, this is how we're playing. This is our best 11. This is our best 23. Cause I have no idea right now. I don't know. I know mine, but I don't know his.
Yeah. It's just the inconsistency of the players on the pitch and the formations is very confusing. And like, you don't have the luxury for that with a national team. You only get these players every few months. And you only have camps every now and then. And sure, like the chemistry is there. You can see like the players really get along, but like, is that due to like their own kind of upbringing through like the youth? Or is that because of like the team camps that Burhalter puts together? Probably a mixture of both, but on the pitch, it needs to be sorted.
Yep. So I think an F. You good with an F?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So that does it for our ranking, our S through F tier list. Unfortunately, a little bit more negative than we would have liked. But hopefully in our October window, this looks a little bit different. We'll be sure to do another video like this for that World Cup qualifying window. But again, thanks for watching. If you made it all the way, you're a legend. Thank you. And yeah, let us know in the comments what you liked, what you want to see more of. And yeah, hopefully we can do some more interviews and other kind of mini lessons along with these types of videos. Once again, thanks for joining in, and don't forget to subscribe.